I'll make sure you get the match in Discord in just a moment.
My wife was in New York today. I should have sent her over to your shop, to pick some stuff up for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What's she doing?
she
What's
was going
going
to
on?
MoMA.
What's that?
She was going to MoMA.
Oh,
There's,
cool.
there's an Alexander Calder show right now, MoMA, and our kid's name is Calder. So
Nice.
it had to happen. So,
Nice.
all right, cool. Mom off the bat, does
Yep.
Phil have an answer? Is always, I think to me yep, and he does. I think Phil's experienced enough these type of matchups to know exactly, what the blood matters.
Yeah.
Um,
Phil knows what's up.
yeah, Stuff Force here feels fine, right? Because we're against a sword stack, so Cauldron is not lights out by any means. Although we can apply pressure, which would be good. Um, Grabbing Jit, interesting. I wonder what he thinks Phil is on that Jit would be good. If he's worried about Monkey, maybe, and he wants to be able to kill small creatures, but I don't know. I guess knowing Phil and knowing how little, few creatures he plays, I don't think I would grab Jit. I think you just want some bigger threat, but we'll see.
Does that tell you then that he already has other equipments in hand?
Possibly, I mean, Batterskull would be a pretty good. This would be a pretty good fake if Batterskull's in play. I don't think you're necessarily facing an attack next turn that you're going to block with Batterskull, but yes, I think that is a possibility where you're just trying to get some equipment that will prove to be valuable in the future. Um, but yeah, it's hard to figure out why you would want to seek out Jit specifically.
I just want to back up here because there was a little bit of lag, and I think that was my fault trying to set up prediction polls and whatnot. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Solitude could be good to Spite Pack TV.
I
Not
think
sure
Solitude. This is
for
going back
this
to the
deck.
dollar matchup. I think Solitude's great. Solitude's great. Probably better when you can cast it and or flicker it. But yeah, no, I mean having 8 Swords of Plowshares in your deck is a good thing in the format.
Agreed.
It'll solve a lot of solve a lot of problems for you.
Agreed.
Especially when now you can quote unquote Swords of Plowshares Emrakul.
And you don't play Maverick much, right?
I played it a couple times, but not in any way a recent build.
Got
Uh,
you. We'll have to get Dukes on Twitch on here to give full analysis. But
Absolutely. Be
um,
fascinating.
Maverick's a deck that seems like it's pretty good against a fair blue deck in general, right?
Yeah, it has all the tools, and Green Sun gives it so many kind of long game threats.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I think I absolutely. I mean, I think in here, at some point, Phil's going to run out of Swords of Plowshares, so we're going to start landing threats that stick around a little bit, and most of them are very disruptive.
Yeah.
And here we actually hit with Batterskull, which is great. Next turn, if there's still no interaction, we could possibly equip Jit, which would be a lot for Phil to get through. Um, Makes me wonder if Phil is setting up for something this next turn. I don't know if he's running aim index sweepers or because he's clearly kind of right now on the back foot, but he could easily just, go to his next turn, play like Supreme Verdict, and the game basically starts over.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
And
And
this also doesn't feel good
what do
for
you think of this
Phil.
germ token? Is that acceptable?
No, it's not. It's wrong. And it's also the wrong placement of the germ token. I mean, the germ token behind the batter skull is being, ridden by the germ. So the germ's on top of the batter skull. In this scenario, it's very unclear who's writing who.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Right,
game state's not being presented properly for sure.
exactly. I'm sure Watsy is going to watch this back and issue some stern warnings to people, and
Yeah.
revoke
I
PCI numbers and
I had a conference call with Wizards of the Coast today
yeah.
concerning all of our live streams. If we can please get in line with the rules, and we're doing our best.
Yeah, I'm surprised they still let you stream. They didn't just like shut you down. Like you can't represent our game anymore with these, post note tokens and proxies of back at Magic cards. It's not allowed.
What about
Uh,
this shark token for Phil? How do you feel about
yeah, I mean
that?
that's kind of disrespectful to be honest. his stop their shark token. I mean, just choose something that has like like a flexible power and toughness. But now you have a 1/1 flying artifact representing a 1/1. Yeah, I
Thopter.
think it is a 1/1 blue shark.
Yeah, 1/1 blue shark.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I get that a year ago shark tokens were hard to find, but I think we're past that, and I
Yeah,
think Phil.
I think we're well past that now, and it's unacceptable.
I mean, I just think that Phil should have just not played this deck. If he didn't have the right tokens, he should have just done something else.
Yeah, I
Because
agree. And
yeah,
and the other thing is, this is what really gets some people's blood boiling, is much like when The Walking Dead Secret Lair came out, we don't want to see Harry Potter references on the board while we're playing Magic. Don't you agree?
no, totally not. I don't want any of this crossover, stuff. This is
Yeah,
just not.
I mean that's not what we're
Not
here for. We're here to play Magic, not Harry Potter.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
If I wanted to cast Doctors and write on, broomsticks, I would have, done something else. But we're going to live with this. I'm going to have to watch this embarrassment.
Yeah.
I think is this why Phil has basically not showed up on the channel in a couple weeks because you banned him for
Yeah,
poor
yeah. The token
representation
thing.
of.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's I feel is very appropriate.
yeah.
I
And
do have to say,
Alec has a Dryad Arbor in his land section. There's just a lot of violations going on here.
wow, where were all the judges from chat? I hope they are really pointing all this out, or all your YouTube commenters are also,
Yeah,
taking you to task for misrepresenting how the game is played.
yeah. The YouTube people are gonna go nuts just about this germ token being underneath two equipments.
Unreal.
They're gonna go
Now,
nuts.
yeah, now the JIT and the batter score are both riding the germ. That makes no sense. Um, But here we go. We are, we're working our way through if you're Phil. Prismatic Ending seems like a great card for germ tokens. Very efficient.
Yeah,
Um, now looks like our Maverick player still has a fair amount of resources, so likely we can set something up where worst case scenario is we bounce the batter skull. Best case scenario is we play something and maybe next turn equip. Um, so not out of the woods. Interesting that the quote unquote shark is holding back. I don't know if Phil's just too embarrassed to attack with it. Um, okay, knight, great. Knight with the jit, even better. Oh, but no, uh-oh. This
underneath
is
again.
yeah, geez. I mean, I read that's part of the rule book, and it definitely says, dry
Yeah.
overs in the front, equipment is in the back, behind.
When did you start playing Magic anyway?
1994.
Okay, so we started around the same time. I started in '95. So you remember those little tiny rule books, right?
Okay,
That like
absolutely.
came in
And
a
every
starter
starter
deck.
pack.
I read those cover to cover many times as a kid. And it said clearly in there, you do not put equipment on top
I,
of creatures.
I remember that. Yeah, all the token rules, complex but important.
Yeah, they were all
Um, yeah,
they were all
automatic
in the rules.
loss. Yeah, if you even brought the wrong token with you to a match, it was just automatic loss.
Spite Pack TV in chat says if I didn't bet on Maverick, I would be disgusted with their board state. See, people are going crazy.
Yeah, I think you should just be disgusted while also, being happy that you might win some points here. I would still be indignant even if I was winning.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
Phil seems a little stuck on lands here. I wonder what, if any, 4 mana threats he's got hanging out that he really wants to cast. Um,
Prismatic
okay,
Ending's
no
pretty good.
ending. Ending, such a good card.
It is really good. It is. All jokes aside, it's a really good card.
It's phenomenal. I mean, I think the only real question is, and I don't know the answer to this, is how many colors you need to run to make it. Is it 3 colors, or could you even run it in a 2-color deck?
Yeah.
Um, but man, it answers so many things that used to just stick around, or were only answerable by like a council's judgment. Um,
Right.
Again, going back to playing a lot of D&T, you land a vial and you're like, okay, the vial's gonna be the rest of the game. The only question is how far do I take it up?
I've had
Um,
my Vials Prismatic Ending so many times at this point.
yeah,
It's
it's
like
bad.
getting annoying.
Yeah, no, it's a real problem. That used to be, obviously you're a little bit better off playing Cavern, but yeah, it's a serious blow to like Vile decks to have Vile be so disruptible.
Yeah.
For 1 mana, just untap or turn one, remove your Vile, go is hard.
So did Alec? I missed the end of it. I looked away for a moment, but did he fetch a Caracas with the um, knight?
I didn't notice. If he did, that's curious. I wonder again. It's hard. I don't know if it's trying to figure out if he's trying to figure out what Will is or Phil is on, and is I don't know. Maybe you're worried about Ragavan. I guess that would be well, but you have
Maybe.
Jim counters. So I mean, Ragavan
Yeah,
not long for this world if the monkey suddenly arrives. Um,
that makes sense, I guess. But he does have the
yeah,
hit, like you said.
yeah, it's hard to figure out. Oh wow, and Nick,
Correctly
we
equipped.
have finally done it. We
Yeah.
have both moved Dryad over to the front and put Batterskull behind the Dryad. Incredible.
All right. Luinil also points out Caracas also protects potential Thalias that could get drawn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. And I guess you have another way to go find it right other than the night. So now you just have it. Um, and I guess by this point you can assume that Phil is not on Wasteland
Right. Yeah.
in his three
That
color
seems
all
obvious at this
basics
point.
deck.
Here's
Okay.
Jace.
No, that works. That's a pretty good tempo swing. Uh, I gotta think we have some way of interacting with this thing. Okay. And the Dryad Arbor goes to the front. Wow, we have solved all the problems.
Right. All right. Greensun for 4, is it?
I'm assuming Questing Beast if this resolves, which
Possibly.
is awesome.
Let's see if he attacks Phil
Yeah.
correctly.
Oh, yep. Yep. Oh
Okay.
man. Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
There's nothing worse than when your opponent attacks your planeswalker with a questing beast.
Absolutely. Unless you're the person with the planeswalker.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly.
Thanks a lot.
Could be
But
another
yeah, I
reason
mean,
for
I think
Caracas,
there's
yeah.
Maverick having all the right tools. Bill finally taps out for his big threat, and Maverick answers it very efficiently.
Yeah.
So
Just to answer Spite Pack TV in chat, want to suggest me a Bant list? Yeah, share it in the 90s MTG Discord for sure. I'm always open to look at deck lists. Not sure why we're getting a little lag right now. I'm trying to fix that.
have we seen band kind of like a pure band control list on the stream maybe once? I feel like just haven't seen it in a
Um,
long time, if at all.
yeah, you're kind of right. We did have it on some of these recap matches,
Yep.
but on the webcam streams, I don't think we've seen it really at all in a while.
Yeah, I can't think of. I mean, it was definitely in the stream, going back to Uro and Oko,
Yeah, right.
comparing yesterday.
We had a
But
lot of that. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like I haven't witnessed kind of the full power of like triple endurance, counter everything, draw all the cards.
Yeah, maybe not.
Well,
We've had a lot of strange streams recently too, where like every deck is mono black or something like that. We've had some weird
yeah,
stuff happening.
everyone's a back channel or just deciding on playing the strangest things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've had like Storm versus Reanimator versus Pox versus something else.
Right, right.
Hogak.
There was, yeah, Matt Monroe played the Torpor Orb Dreadnought deck.
Right, that too. Yeah,
Classic tier zero, magic deck.
yeah, 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 for sure.
See
So
it every afternoon.
we'll have to return to tier S decks soon.
Oh, exactly. That or Tribal Wars. I, you know,
Yeah, are you ready for Tribal Wars if and when we
I
get to do it?
I have a lot. I have several lists brewed up. I think I've broken the format. To be honest, I've been goldfishing against non-elves opponents, which is clearly the best stack in Tribal Wars by like a mile. Um,
Seems
I'm
like it.
ready.
Yeah. I feel like elves can be beaten though in Tribal Wars. I know we're getting really really off topic here, but I think elves can be beaten.
I don't know. I mean, I think you have to run things like Walking Ballista. You have to run dedicated sweepers, which is a good idea. You know, in a format full of creatures, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I
think
will.
Force of Despair was also an underused card on the previous Tribal Wars streams.
I mean, I'll be honest. If I played in Tribal Wars, I would register Black White Humans and play like 4 Zealous Persecutions.
Yeah, that's the right idea.
Correct. It's just like you. There's just otherwise Elves is just gonna win.
Yeah,
So we've got acceleration. Phil seems to have, his normal. I'm hanging back, waiting to see what you're gonna do.
yeah.
Okay.
Mother of Runes.
Mom's always good on this type of board. I mean, it just again requires kind of a window here for Phil to answer it. Or again, at this point, it's having seen what we saw game one. It's not clear to me what Phil is running in terms of creature removal beyond 1/1 removal. So is there Terminus in the stack? Is there a Supreme Verdict? It's hard to read, so it's unclear then how powerful like Mom's going to be. If it's all 1/1 removal, Mom's going to be great. But if Phil has something over the top, then Phil can clean this up really well.
Right.
Especially, yeah, if we're still committing. Although maybe this Teague, I don't know, I don't think Member runs Teague anymore. Oh,
Oh, Phil
interesting.
has stifles. Okay.
Interesting.
I
Well,
would
that's
not have
another way
played
to
around
kind of
that.
mess around with Mom. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if Phil can just, clear the board here, that would be phenomenal for him.
Right.
I'm surprised that Phil continues to use this Doomsday mat. I mean, this seems very not Phil-like. He's always playing like Jeskai, White, and he's got like, a Doomsday mat with a big dragon on it. I think it's a little bit of a misrepresentation. So is the Black Lotus playmat in a format where it's not legal.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I don't know. Both of these mats are a little iffy for me, right?
yeah, I'm just trying to feed the YouTube comments, and I want them to really take up pitchforks, against the channel. Let it rip.
Yeah, the YouTube people are a great crowd, but they're just very particular about certain things, and we have to keep that in mind.
We live in a world where you have infinite choice, so they're gonna let you know how they feel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so Jace basically was a 4 mana brainstorm. It looks like most likely, assuming Jace is not surviving this turn.
A-
Uh,
And I I guess Jason pointing out in chat, and I was thinking this. Jace is just setting up Terminus here, right?
it must be. Yeah, I don't know. Again, like unless you either had, there must be sweepers in Phil's deck that he would be able to kind of deploy to get out of some of this type of jam. Um, you know, mop up this type of board. And
No
no,
Terminus. Ouch.
yeah. So maybe more of a desperation move than a show of just willing to throw Jace away to set up a good 3 for 1, or it has to be 3 for 2.
Hex Drinker is gross. I mean, you got to deal with that with
Yeah,
Terminus, basically.
exactly. Yeah. Now, right, we have to find a sweeper, or Hex Drinker will just become mini Progenitus and we'll lose.
Yeah, exactly.
So is that
Relic.
Elixir of Immortality?
Yeah. Sorceress Canta. Wow.
Jesus. I love it. I love it. This is like two timelines colliding.
Yeah, it is actually.
2018 and 2021 where Urza Saga's in the deck.
Right.
Man, search for his Kenta. That has been a while. Powerful card, but probably a little slow here to
A
make it
little
a
bit.
real impact.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a key card in this game.
No. Okay, maybe it gets rid of the card just so we can actually play the card we want. Kind of. I mean, I don't think also in a four-way against a four wasteland deck. I think it's optimistic that we're untapping with it and actually activating it as a land.
Spike Pack says, "Is this standard 2016?" Yeah, it looks similar.
Yeah, I mean it is. I don't know, Chris, since I don't know if you've played with Urza Saga, but it does make you go down some strange rabbit holes for 1 man artifacts. Uh,
Yeah, I've done like some searches on Scryfall myself. Like, what can I fetch with Urza Saga that would be really interesting? And it does kind of boil down to the same like 3 cards, though. I think.
it does. There are very few. there's definitely no backbreaking 1 mana artifacts. It's just like what type of game plan do you want to help enable by playing Urza Saga?
Right.
Uh, one that I think is underplayed, although again, this is Urza Saga right now is used in a lot of decks that actually want to attack, is Meekstone.
Yeah.
Um, because again, it's just an uncounterable way to tap down all of Delver's stuff, um, which is pretty cool. Again, you want to play in a deck that really wasn't trying to attack with constructs. So I have it. I have that right on my Painter list because Painter doesn't really want to attack.
Right.
Or if it attacks, it
True.
attacks with Smuggler's Copter, which just untaps anyways. It's not a creature. But
Yeah, I guess your constructs can just be defensive.
exactly. Yeah, you're just trying to buy time so you can combo. Um,
Right.
all right, Phil, I feel like this is your turn here. This
Yeah,
next
this
turn is
is
kind of your.
do it or don't do it.
Yeah, right. I let's, oh, let's see.
Ooh, Force of Vigor
Jeez.
during when?
Interesting to bring in. It must be right during Phil's upkeep because we're pitch casting it.
Before the search trigger resolves, I see.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh!
Okay. Okay.
All right, I didn't see that one coming.
I'm holding on to my table, Chris. That was cutting it close.
Yeah.
Wow. But all right. I mean, you've got a huge mana advantage. Um, I feel like from here on out, if you can just find some good 1-for-1 removal, it's probably okay. But yeah, that felt like we were nosediving for a bit, and Phil pulled it out for
Yeah.
now.
In case anybody's wondering, too, I haven't seen these matches yet. This is just the recordings, and I haven't watched. I wasn't standing there. So this is
So
interesting.
fetching the Batter Skull, I think to me would also mean that there's no Cauldron in the deck because Cauldron right now is your absolute best offense. Um, like here, we would have been able to untap, put in a 5/5 indestructible creature, and swing Phil down to 7. Batter Skull is never wonderful on defense. Um, and actually is going to get a little bit bricked here by servos if we can start untapping and making Thopters and stuff. Because we can just sack in response to blocking. So we'll see here. I mean, we're back to the same. Wow. I, Chris, have you ever considered putting trigger warnings on these videos because of like poor token placement and stuff? Like
Yeah. I've tried every kind of warning, but people just aren't prepared for what we have in
yeah,
store.
no, you'd have to like bleep stuff out at this point. I'm like,
Yeah. Blurring and beep,
yeah,
and it's just so
blurring.
much work for me too.
So Wear Tear, he was great. Retrofitter Foundry, if you never played it, is one hell of a card. Um, Especially with this much mana. The fact that Retrofitter Foundry can start untapping and activating again in a single turn is very good. It's a
True.
very good card.
It is
Um,
a good card.
and I wonder if Phil's going to try to cheat here and make a Thopter with his Shark Typhoon so that he can tap it and make a construct. Maybe
Well,
that's the play along. Was like I'm making Thopters with my Shark Typhoon.
oh, now now he has a servo token, even though it's a Pokemon. Should we let that
Yeah.
slide?
No, we should be blowing this all out. We should just be like narrating on the radio, just telling people what's going on. They can imagine. Uh, all
uh,
right. This must feel good if you're Maverick that you still kept that wasteland around and didn't like go after the Caracas because that saga is clearly going to become a problem very quickly. Although it would only we have just not drawn lands this game. Wow.
yeah,
Um,
Alec needs some lands.
yeah, and I mean, I think the Force of Vigor was probably the right call, uh, but we lost our Noble Hierarch, which would have been helpful here a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
another
all right,
Stoneforge.
yeah. What do we have?
It's like Sword of Dungeons and Dragons at this point. I
Yeah,
can't even think
exactly.
of another one.
And Transformer swords will be coming out. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. So there's no Cauldron, there's no Sword of Fire and Ice. So now they're just squires, um,
yeah,
which is less than exciting. Although we at least got rid of the Retrofitter Foundry, so we're not just
right.
getting buried in tokens.
That was important for sure.
Yes.
Got Phil down to 7-2. I mean, it's not the worst.
Right. Brainstorm here is probably the best thing to be doing. God, I was just still surprised by this 2 mana for Maverick.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. I mean, your best threats are on 3, so just not be able to resolve a night. Okay, here we go. At least we have. Ooh, okay.
Choke is pretty good.
Choke is good. I appreciate the white border choke. That is a pro move.
It is.
See here if we just have something on top. Looks like we don't 'cause we're fetching. But again, we're only, we're on a 4-turn clock with the Stoneforge. So, and we have. So, seeing the basic mountain, we haven't seen Lightning Bolt yet or anything. So, that'd be curious to see if there's other removal in the deck. We've seen almost entirely white removal. It's also the type matchup I wonder if Phil's running like Snapcaster or something for that wear and tear. But so.
Well, Phil at 4 life. Okay, I was gonna say, questing beast could end the game here, but yeah, no other creature. It's surprising to
Yeah.
see no other creatures.
Yeah. Ham sandwich get in the game here. Cool, that's a ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Now we're now we're going to turn 2 clock. I mean, Phil's also he's found removal, but he hasn't found. I think he's brainstormed and maybe brainstormed twice. He just doesn't feel like he's set much stuff up.
Right.
It's the same game where that Jace just turned into a 4-mana brainstorm. Um, so it felt like he just didn't have the kind of 2-for-1s he needed to keep up here.
Thought seize. Did not see that coming.
No.
Standstill. Okay.
Yeah, that's man, huh? Interesting. I guess on the play, keeping that in makes some sense because you can just like kill the mom, untap standstill.
Yeah.
But yeah, the top decking now, obviously, again, if we just found a Terminus earlier and then could standstill, that would have been wonderful. Because you already got rid of the Dryad Arbor. So, valiantly played, poorly represented game states, but good games nonetheless.
Yeah. Maverick gets there. It was a good match.
Yeah, definitely.